So our next speaker came up from South Florida today, and she's coming to speak with you about Social Security disability law. And I hope that you all will welcome Lisa.
Hi, everybody awake? Everybody's been waiting for me to speak, right? Okay. Thanks, Stu. So my name is Lisa Gonzalez Goetz, and I am an attorney, and I practice exclusively in the area of Social Security disability. And I haven't done a presentation like this in Spanish, so forgive me for my Spanglish, but I'm going to mix it up a little bit quicker. And more importantly than anything is to do the Q&A sessions, to try to answer as many questions as you may have, try to facilitate myself for you. Mi nombre es Lisa González Goetz. Yo no he hecho una presentación en español, pero soy bilingüe, soy de Puerto Rico. Voy a hablar en Spanglish, voy a hablar rápido, voy a tratar de mantenerlos despiertos y contestar las preguntas que necesitan para facilitar el programa de Seguro Social e Incapacidad. ¿Okay? Entonces voy a hablar en inglés y en español, pero un poquito más rápido que hizo el doctor. Okay. Basically, there are two programs. Hay dos programas de incapacidad of Social Security Disability. There's Title II and Title 16. Hay el Título 2 y el Título 16. Each program requires you to be disabled for 12 months or more. Cada programa requiere que estés incapacitado por 12 meses o más continuous months, and that you're not able to work, y que no puedes ejercer un trabajo. Okay? So what we're trying to do with Social Security disability under Title II is to show that you're not able to work for a period of 12 months or more, and the monies that you would receive would be based on the monies that you paid into FICA, to Social Security. So, para el título 2, lo que tenemos que probar es que estás incapacitado, que no puedes trabajar, no puedes pagar, no puedes trabajar 40 horas consistentes y recibes los beneficios basados en la cantidad de dinero que has pagado para el Seguro Social. ¿Okay? Ese es el título 2. El título 16 es que estás incapacitado, que no puedes trabajar y que no tienes fondos, que no has trabajado o ejercido suficiente. So what I said in Spanish was that I went on to Title 16. Title 16 is the same requirements for Title II, that you're disabled and unable to work permanently 40 hours a week on a full-time basis, and it has the additional component that you have to be financially destitute, basically, or that you didn't pay enough money into Social Security to qualify for Social Security. Sometimes when you apply for Social Security, the person at Social Security will give you an application for each of them. So you have both, and they're called concurrent claims. And the reasons they come up is, as example, if you were to have worked but not paid enough into the system that you wouldn't raise over the poverty level, it comes in together, so the other program would kick in. So lo que dije en inglés fue, hay veces que el título 16 es el título cuando no has trabajado, no has pagado beneficios o ingresos del Seguro Social, y hay veces que tienes las dos solicitudes que las radican juntas, y es una combinación porque quizás el dinero que has pagado al Seguro Social no es suficiente, que te viene más allá del título de la pobreza. Entonces los dos programas juntos trabajan. And I'll be happy to answer any questions as soon as I'm done with the slideshow. Contestaré cualquier pregunta, because this is a type of question that a lot of people ask. I don't know what kind of application I have, and very often people say, I have SSID, and I'm like, oh my, SSID can be DIB, it can be SSI, it's just an umbrella term. So mucha gente está confundido con qué tipo de programas ellos han solicitado, y no hay problema después. Yo puedo contestar cualquier pregunta. Am I going really fast?
No.
No? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so this is basically the definition of Social Security disability. This is based on the Federal Code of Regulations. Disability is based on your inability to work for 12 months or more on a consistent basis. So esta es la definición en inglés, puesto por las regulaciones del Código Federal, que dice que el Seguro Social define el seguro. See, I told you, my Spanish is rusty. So, define el seguro social basado en la que no puedes trabajar más de 40 horas a la semana por una condición física o mental. Your condition can be physical or mental. It has to do with past relevant work, el trabajo que has hecho antes, cualquier otro trabajo que puedas ejercer, any other work that you may qualify for, or a condition that is expected to last or result in death. Una condición que va a resultar en la muerte. Esta es la definición. This is the federal code, and I pulled this out of the government website. So esto es la código que yo saqué de la computadora. Preparation. Okay, so that's where we come in. That's where you say, I'm the one who's sick. Why do I need an attorney? Why do I need help? And that's really what we're here for. The process is arduous, lengthy. Many times it's humiliating. It's very, very difficult to go and remember all the paperwork that you need to comply with within a certain time frame and complete it all for Social Security purposes. So the attorney that you hire, or yourself if you're able to, or a caseworker or a manager that may help you, really needs to be prepared for your case. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as soon as I'm translating this. I'm done translating this. So, preparación. La cosa más importante de un caso de seguro social es preparación. Y yo estoy aquí para hablar con ustedes sobre la necesidad de preparar tu caso, de acordarte de los deadlines que tienes, de los días que tienes que erradicar, de apelar. No puedes dejar que pase ciertos días. Entonces es muy importante que tengas a alguien que esté apoyándote y que va a hacer todo el papeleo, o que tengan un abogado. Mucha gente dice, yo soy la que estoy enferma, yo soy el que estoy enfermo porque necesito un abogado. Pero mucho tiene que ver con la preparación. Si tienes problemas de estar olvidadizo, de no acordarte o llenar y radicar y llenar todo este papeleo, es importante que tengas a alguien en tu equipo que te ayude. Y eso es súper, súper, súper importante, primordial. So voy a hablar un poquito sobre la preparación que uno hace como abogado. I'm going to speak a little bit about the preparation that one does as an attorney. So there are many different stages for Social Security. Hay muchas etapas para el Seguro Social. You have your initial, your reconsideration, your request for hearing, where you go in front of an administrative law judge. And after that, there's even more steps of appeal. So, hay el inicial, la reconsideración, y cuando uno pide una audiencia al frente de un juez administrativo de Seguro Social. Después de esas 3 etapas, hay más etapas que también hay para el Seguro Social. So, when you're properly prepared, you go in front of a judge, and if the judge were to deny your case, then we're prepared for the appeal at the Appeals Council, or we're prepared for the appeal at the U.S. Federal Court. Okay? Si uno está preparado perfectamente y el juez te deniega el caso, tú puedes apelar a la Corte de Apelaciones del Seguro Social, que queda en Virginia, the Appeals Council in Virginia, o a la Corte Federal de los Estados Unidos. So, hay apelaciones más allá de lo que dice el juez. Proper preparation really encompasses having a great relationship with your doctor, having communication, being able to talk about what you feel and what your fears are. Very important. So, preparación tiene que ver con tu relación con tu médico es muy, muy importante, y poder hablar de las ansiedades que tienes, los miedos que tienes, no solo ahora con tu condición, pero para el futuro. Every time you complain to your doctor, they write it down. Cada vez que te quejas con el doctor, ellos escriben que tú te estás quejando. Those notes, esas notas son muy importantes, are very, very important para tu apelación, for your appeal, para tu presentación al frente de un juez, for your presentation in front of a judge, or at a lower level, o un nivel más bajo, for you to be able to give to Social Security what's going on, para que tú le puedas decir al Seguro Social exactamente qué es lo que tú sientes, qué tú no sientes y por qué estás solicitando. Okay? So, Social Security has a 5-step sequential process, and we go through all the steps individually, one by one. Okay? Hay 5 etapas de cómo tú enseñas un caso, y nosotros podemos ir por eso uno por uno en la preparación. Okay? We submit briefs. Sometemos mamotretos a los jueces y les enseñamos qué es lo que tienes que no te deja trabajar. We say in our briefs, why can't you work? Why, if you can work, is it part-time and not full-time, not 40 hours? And if it's 40 hours one week, why it's not on a consistent basis? So si son 40 horas que puedes trabajar o menos, ¿por qué no son 40 horas? Y si no puedes trabajar o trabajas 40 horas una semana, ¿por qué no lo puedes hacer consistentemente semana tras semana? We give an opening statement, we give a specific exhibit. Now, here is an example of ERE. ERE is the electronic record keeping that Social Security now has. Esto es un ejemplo de lo que se ve cuando uno tiene un caso en el gobierno y va a la corte y enseña aquí, puedes ver cómo está delineado tu caso electrónicamente. Ya no hay papel. There is no more paper. Okay? So I'll have a client who says, I want a copy of my file. Ya no hay papel. There is no more paper. ¿Quieren la copia del expediente? No hay. No hay papel. Everything is electronically. Okay? And believe it or not, it's very good at protecting your privacy. There are other things that are much worse, but the federal government and this ERE is set up with a lot of really, really good protections. Never heard of anybody getting into your Social Security number through them. So, lo que estaba diciendo es que, aunque es electrónico, créelo o no, que el Seguro Social tiene unas prevenciones súper buenas para que no se te metan en tu número de Seguro Social, y la privacidad está muy buena documentada. Pero si miras el expediente, te cambian y te dicen todos los exhibitos, todo lo que tienen, enseñando qué es lo que tiene tu solicitud, tu récord médico. The Exhibit F, for example, are your medical records. Exhibit E is, disability-related documents. So it's broken down that way. But what we need to focus on the type of claim, but then we also focus on the medical records. So Exhibit F is really what we hone in on. So nosotros miramos muy bien, no solo los exhibitos de cuando uno está solicitando, pero más que nada en la parte F de tu expediente, que tiene la documentación médica de tus médicos. This is a copy of what your wages look like. And Social Security used to send, many years ago, a printout. They used to actually mail it out to you. And it would show how much you would receive at age 65, how much you would receive at 62, how much you would receive if you were disabled, how much your family would receive. A few years ago, about 10 years ago, they stopped mailing them. And now you can go in and look at them, and I think they may mail them once every 5 years or 3 years. So has anybody gotten does anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay, thank you. So hace muchos años el Seguro Social mandaba imprimía cuánto tú ibas a recibir a la edad de 62 años, a la edad de 65 años, a la edad de retiro, si te mueres, cuánto ibas a recibir, y si te incapacitabas, cuánto ibas a recibir. Lo mandaban anualmente, lo cambiaron, ahora lo mandan cada 3, 5 años, pero así se ve. And this is how they come to this conclusion. Así es que ellos llegan a esta conclusión. Every single penny that you paid FICA on, cada centavo que pagaste Seguro Social, enseña bien detallado cuánto tú pagaste. Y basado en eso es lo que tú recibes si estás por el título 2. Based on how much you paid into the system is how much you would receive if you were paying under Title 2. Now, this is an addendum. I'll say it in English, but it really has to do with where I come from in Puerto Rico. Sometimes, and in the past, a lot of employers would have taken your money for FICA, but were not paying into FICA. So you would still be Title 16, and it was very hard because by the time they were retiring or disabled, you couldn't find these employers anywhere, and it was really, really bad. You still see that a little bit in Texas. You still see that in Puerto Rico. You see that in a little bit of splotchy areas where you have a lot of people that are happier to get, employers that are small employers in small areas and not as regulated. So I'm going to describe this in Spanish because I think it's important. The reason I'm emphasizing this, I think it's very, very important for everybody to see their yearly earnings, okay? And this is important for anybody to really look and make sure that if I paid Social Security taxes, it's showing up. Because it's very hard to come back 10 or 15 years later and not be able to find your employer. So, así se ven las ganancias que uno ha tenido en la vida. En Puerto Rico, de donde yo soy, se veía mucho los colmaditos donde los empleados pagaban el seguro social y los obreros pagaban y los dueños agarraban el dinero como que iban a recibir el dinero de seguro social y no pagaban un centavo. Entonces mucha gente que pensaban que habían pagado por muchos años y en estos lugares donde se conocían y eran vecinos, no pagaban. Se jodieron, no había más nada para ellos, estaban embarcados. Entonces, en esa circunstancia, es muy, muy importante que uno vea estos récords de ganancias todos los años. So I spoke dirty in Spanish because I couldn't help it. And that's why they're laughing. So I did say a naughty word, and it is recorded, but I feel really strongly about the importance of reviewing your earnings record. Very, very important. Yo sé que hablé malo, pero es bien importante que uno mire sus records que te enseñen cada año cuánto tú has ganado, porque estos obreros han pagado y se han quedado sin nada. Y cuando uno mira a una persona que hace 10 o 15 años pensaron que pagaron y se quedaron sin nada, es muy difícil, porque emocionalmente representar a eso... O sea, en Puerto Rico, si eres SSI, te tienes que mudar. O sea, in Puerto Rico, if you thought you paid FICA taxes, this is why I'm bringing this up, because I'm so emotional about it. If you thought you paid FICA taxes and you didn't, and you can't prove that you did because that person who you paid took the money and you can't find them, you cannot get SSI in Puerto Rico. So these people have nothing. They have to move if they're really sick. They get W-2 forms, but nobody looks at them. Nobody really follows through. They're just, some are illiterate, some don't care, some trust their neighbor. You really saw it you still see it a little bit, and you still see it in Texas, but Texas, it won't affect you because then you still get SSI. In Puerto Rico, you find families having to break up because of this while they're sick. So what happens is that with, imagine a 7-Eleven that's owned by your friend's neighbor's boyfriend's husband, and you work there for 7-8 years. You never really thought they were not paying taxes. You saw it taken out of your check. but it never kind of got there. Yes.
What happened to my mother, her and the 2 children that they were working, they were taking the tax out, but he never paid it.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat it because it's not a Q&A session yet, so people that are watching on the video can't hear it. But the lady in the audience said that this is what happened to her mother. Her mother had paid it, but it never showed up as earnings. And so, you know, I speak dirty and I put a dirty word in there. I don't apologize for it. This is the reason why. I'm the one on the other side trying to make sense of it. So, lo mismo le pasó a la señora, la mamá de la señora, que pagó los intereses y no reportaron nada. Entonces yo digo, yo no voy a pedir perdón por hablar feo, porque para mí esto es algo muy, muy, muy importante. Yo soy la que tengo que estar en el otro lado explicándole a la gente por qué tienen este problema. I don't make up the law, yo no hago la ley. I just have to represent and try to win the case as much as I can, as fast as I can. Yo trato de ganar el caso rápido, de la manera más rápida y efectiva, pero yo soy la que me tengo que lidiar con esto. Entonces, this is what an earnings record should look like. Esto es como un récord de dineros que uno paga, debe de parecer. ¿Ya? Oh. Going back, and I can go back, and I can answer questions, but I can go on. What's SGA work? Substantial gainful work activity is 40 hours a week, que es trabajo sustancial bajo el Seguro Social. Son 40 horas a la semana. What is an unsuccessful work attempt or unsuccessful work activity? It's individual. ¿Qué es cuando la gente trata de trabajar y no puede trabajar efectivamente? Es individual. What is a trial work period? ¿Qué es un trabajo que uno trata de hacer por un periodo de tiempo? We can talk about that. That's very individual. Some people try to work while they're applying. Other people try to work once they are receiving benefits. Alguna gente trata de solicitar y mientras está solicitando, está trabajando, eso es una condición. Otra gente está trabajando después que ha recibido beneficio, eso es otro tipo de caso que también puedo ayudar. Compassionate allowances. Ni idea cómo se dice esto en español, pero son casos que se pagan por razón compasional. And compassionate allowances are, I think there's 72, creo que hay 72, but it could be more, it could be less. Puede ser más o puede ser menos. Compassionate allowance has to do with people that have a certain diagnosis with certain criteria, and they should be getting the benefits faster, quicker, without going through the whole process. Cuando uno recibe beneficios por este programa es porque uno tiene una definición de un diagnóstico fuerte con evidencia médica que resulta enseñando que estás en una condición severa. Your condition's pretty severe. It's not a separate program, it's done within the same program. No es un programa separado, es durante el mismo programa. For MS, it requires several objective records, MRIs included. Para MS enseña muchos récords objetivos, incluyendo MRIs. Lo que sí es que no está sucediendo mucho estos compassionate allowances. Yo creo que tiene que ver con que estamos en un año de elección. What I want to say is that right now compassionate allowances throughout the country have stalled a little, and I believe personally it has to do with the election year. So even though you may have the criteria and you may meet the criteria for compassionate allowance, you may have the objective evidence, you may have your doctors, you may have the blood tests, you may have all the CAT scans, everything. I have, and I've said this before, I've had 5 people die on me in August. I have had 2 people die on me so far in January. I have 5 personas que se me murieron en agosto. 2 personas ya llevando en enero que se me han muerto. 2 people right now should be compassionately paid. Dos personas deben de haber ganado el caso ya basado en esto, and the government is dragging their feet. Y el gobierno está yendo bien lento. And it is deplorable. Y es irresponsable. It's irresponsible. It's not right. And so at least my clients know I'm working hard, but I really don't know what else to do except show up personally in a Social Security office and I may be arrested. So, yo no sé qué más hacer porque uno va a la oficina del Seguro Social, sería lo último que puedo hacer y ahí no me voy a entender con nadie. So, puede ser que me arresten, pero es muy fuerte. This is a list. Esta es una lista de compassionate allowances, lo que uno puede recibir, the type of cases that would fall under compassionate allowances. It's, if you want the entire list, you can email me. I'm not going to go through it. I pulled this out of the internet. It's accessible to everyone. Si alguien quiere ver, está en el internet, accesible a todo el mundo. Pero la importancia no es el diagnóstico, es los exámenes y la severidad de tu condición. It's not the diagnosis that gets you to compassionate allowance. It's the severity of your condition that gets you to compassionate allowance. So it's not the diagnosis. And we talk a little bit about what it does. It's supposed to put you to the front of the line. Also for veterans, it's supposed to, if you're a veteran, you're supposed to go to the front of the line. So compassionate allowances se supone que te ponga al frente de la línea, y para veteranos también se supone que te ponga al frente de la línea. ¿Ya? This is an example of the application process and the stages of how you apply. Un ejemplo de lo que estaba diciendo antes, de los niveles de apelación y de aplicaciones que uno tiene. Okay. Las evaluaciones que usan for MS, the evaluations that Social Security uses for MS. Bien específico, very specific. Disorganization of motor function, visual impairments, organic mental disorders. I see this all the time. Clients say, I have a problem, but we really need those medical records. So the most important thing is that you complain to your doctors. Yo veo esto todo el tiempo. Uno dice, el MS está evaluado por estas razones, en esto, lo que se llama listings, condiciones del Seguro Social, desorganización de la habilidad de caminar o de los brazos, problemas visuales, problemas mentales, orgánicos. Pero eso tiene que estar corroborado por tu médico, por evidencia médica. So these listings are the way to win your case. And the way to win your case is by complaining. And the more you complain, the more documentation you have, which goes to the beginning of the slideshow, preparation, that's what wins your case. So I'm going to answer a question nobody's asked. How many people are on disability currently? And how many people are applying for benefits now? Okay. Do I need to ask the question in Spanish? Okay. So people ask me, why do I need an attorney or when do I need an attorney? Te pregunta cuándo necesito un abogado y por qué. And the answer is always the preparation from the very beginning of the case. An attorney gets paid only if they win. Un abogado que hace esto solo le pagan si ganan el caso. The limit is $6,000 per case for any attorney that handles a case. It's federally statutory. We're limited. With some exceptions, we're limited. Estamos limitados a $6,000 por caso. So many people will apply for case on their own, will do these appeals, will go through the paperwork, the stress, the anxiety. And if you end up hiring an attorney the day before the hearing, I get paid the same amount. Si tú esperas hasta hacer la solicitud, apelar, a ver si gana, continuar el caso y a llegar al lugar donde necesitas juicio, el día antes del juicio yo cobro lo mismo que si te tomo el caso al principio. And I like to take, and I'm not the mean attorney, the regular attorney, not Not mean. I didn't. That was a bad word. I am not the typical. Typical is the word. I'm translating very fast. I'm not the typical attorney. Yo no soy el abogado normal o típico. Típico. Not normal. I am normal. Típico. Typical attorney. El típico abogado quiere tomar tu caso con el menos trabajo que tenga que hacer. Y tengo muchos amigos que hacen eso. A lot of my typical friends that are attorneys, they typically like to take a case as close to a hearing as they can because they have less work to do. I am atypical that way. Yo soy no típica de esa manera. A mí me gusta tomar el caso desde el principio. I like to take the case from the beginning. I'll take it at any level. Lo tomo a cualquier nivel. Pero I like to do everything. So at every communication that has ever happened between Social Security is happening with us knowing. Cualquier comunicación que ha tomado usted con el Seguro Social, si yo lo tomo desde el principio y lo tomo a cualquier nivel, yo sé exactamente qué le mandamos al Seguro Social y qué le ven. Now, this is a footnote. This happened this morning on my way here, driving with Stu. I have a client who lives in Cocoa Beach who had fired us as their attorney. And I called to find out what did we do wrong, because it's my law firm and I'm very concerned. It's my law firm and my husband's law firm. So that's it. Like, what did we do? This is our nest egg. What happened? Tengo un cliente que me llamó esta mañana que nos dejó ir como abogado. Nos despidió como abogado, gracias. My translator's here. Me despidió como abogado porque no sabía por qué. Entonces, te lo juro que estaba viniendo para acá y estaba con Stu en el carro y la llamé porque quería saber, yo trabajo con mi esposo, hacemos esto, todo lo que hacemos es esto, y qué pasó, qué fue la desconexión aquí. What was the disconnect? What happened? Was it a staff member and we're recycling some staff members and things are happening? What was it? ¿Qué fue lo que sucedió? And the woman said to me, and I'm being recorded and I have no problem saying this right now. She lives in Melbourne, Florida. That Social Security indicated to them, we did an initial application. So we just started the claim. Nosotros acabamos de empezar el caso hace 6 semanas, 6 weeks ago. We took her on as a client and filed for her. Radicamos una solicitud para ella y la oficina de Melbourne de Seguro Social le dijo, according to her, it's hearsay, but I'm just telling you what she told me. You don't need an attorney. They filed the paperwork wrong. You don't need an attorney. Let it go. Let the attorneys go. Fire them. So, la Seguro Social le dijeron a ellos que está solicitando, está comenzando, que no necesita un abogado, déjalo ir, despídenlo. So, my office, mi oficina dijo, give me a piece of paper showing me that you were fired. And that's what we need to be able to say, okay, it's really the client saying we're fired. Y le dijeron a alguien en mi oficina, mandaron una documentación que nos despidió. Y that's it. Pero lo vio el esposo mío, my husband saw it, and he told me, give the client a call. So I'm driving up y llamo, and I call. Y la señora me dice, this is what Social Security told me. You filled out papers incorrectly, and I don't need you. Okay? El Seguro Social le dijo, llenamos los papeles incorrectamente y ella no nos necesita. Okay? And I said to the woman, let me find out, and I went through to see what was going on. 6 weeks ago, she came to us. It's very rare that this happens. And I told her, you know what? You have a choice to make. You can find an attorney that you trust. But right now, you're using the same people that are going to deny you to trust. And it's going to get really hard for you because you're 39 years old and you're applying for disability. Le dije, ella tiene diferentes opciones. Y hablé con ella de las opciones, que ella puede buscar otro abogado si es necesario, pero que tiene 39 años y la van a denegar. Y la misma oficina que le está diciendo no necesita un abogado es la misma oficina que la va a denegar. So the situation's pretty tough right now. And unless I were to get something in writing from her, I file a complaint to federal court or to the bosses, and I already have complaints filed against many administrative law judges. So it's brazen, it's hard, it's a very tough type of practice. Es difícil porque no quieren que tengas mucha representación, no quieren pagar, they don't want to pay. It's hard. So this is the criteria. Esta es la criteria. Y con esta criteria, you should automatically be given benefits. With this criteria, automatically. But it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So this is me. I graduated from the University of Florida. I went to Temple Law School where I met my husband. Yeah, Gator. But actually, we're in Tampa. I should say I went to USF for 2 years. Then I transferred to Florida. Then I went to Temple Law School, where I met my husband. Philadelphia, yay. Villanova, okay. Villanova, yeah. So I actually got my husband from the law school and brought him down here. And this is our practice. So my email's here. It's lisa@gglaw.info. GG is for Gonzalez and Goetz. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to stay as long as I have to because this is important enough. Hold on. I think they're going to come with a microphone for you because if not, I have to repeat every question.
Who's got the question?
Lisa, what is the difference between SSI and just regular disability?
The earnings that you paid, the income that you paid into the system. So for disability, you have to have paid in enough quarters of coverage and be insured. So 10 out of 20 quarters, you have to be insured. If you didn't pay into the system, then your program would be SSI, and the SSI is based on your earnings or your income, family income, and the poverty line. So sometimes you haven't paid enough into the system, you're looking at SSI only, and then it's a question of what your financial status is. How many resources you have, over $2,000, you don't qualify, you have to be at the poverty line. Almost always if you qualify for for food stamps, you will also qualify for SSI because that's kind of like the borderline of poverty.
I was 39 last month. I just turned 40, and I'm in my third appeal. So we're waiting for the judge. And I was diagnosed with MS 2014, and I had to resign. I was a teacher because I couldn't stand up for a long period of time. I tried to do a part-time, and it didn't work either because of the pain, so I decided to resign. What are the possibilities? When you said the 39 year, my heart just bounced because I've been so negative thinking that I'm going to be again denied with the disability. And to top it off, I worked 10 years for a nonprofit agency. So when I looked at my earnings, they messed up 2 years. And I didn't know about it. So I supposedly have to pay for those 2 years in order to, if they approve the Social Security.
Okay. I can help you with the nonprofit, but that's one of the reasons that I'm so emotional about it. Do you want to say your question in Spanish too? Yeah, it's different when you have to speak it, right?
La pregunta mía es que cuando usted dijo lo de los 39 años, mi corazón palpitó duro porque cumplí los 40 ahora en diciembre 21. Y estoy en la etapa donde tengo que esperar ver al juez. Y pues me he sentido un poquito negativa porque ha sido ya la tercera vez que me han denegado y lo veo un poco lejos el que me aprueben para la disability.
Okay. So again, the nonprofit, que parte que no vino de la conversación fue que ella había trabajado para un nonprofit organization, y le dañaron 2 años de ingresos. Eso no se puede hacer nada. About the nonprofit, there's really nothing that you can do if you owe the money. That's federal government, you have to pay it. With regard to a hearing, thank you for sharing what you're sharing. Gracias por compartir con nosotros lo que estás yendo por el proceso. The process is difficult, for sure. It's harder for younger people. But it doesn't mean that you don't qualify because you're 39 or 40. No quiere decir que no calificas porque tienes 39 o 40 años. The age of disability is non-discriminatory. La edad de incapacidad no discrimina, desafortunadamente, unfortunately. So what you have to do is really have yourself prepared. Have yourself, tienes que prepararte, tienes que tener los documentos de tus médicos, ayudándote con las alegaciones de lo que sientes. Your doctor's medical records supporting you with the allegations of what you're saying. Tienes que documentarlo, document it through your doctor, por tu médico, y que tu médico ayude a llenar documentos específicos de la condición tuya. If your doctor can help you complete certain medical forms particular for your condition. We win most of our cases at the hearing level. Los casos que se ganan casi siempre son a nivel de juicio. Because at a hearing level is when you go in front of an administrative law judge, al frente de un juez administrativo, ellos te pueden ver, te pueden sentir, te pueden oír, they can see you, they can feel how you are, y pueden hacer una decisión basada en eso. They can make a decision based on that. Okay? The rest that happened on the lower level, if you didn't meet those listing requirements, a un nivel más bajo, si tú no llegaste a esos requisitos específicos, then you wouldn't qualify. So that's why you were denied. Por eso fue que te denegaron. Now, ahora, tienes que ir y enseñar que lo que tú dices que tú sientes y lo que el médico dice que tú sientes es verídico. Now you go in front of a judge and you show that what you feel, what you say you feel is supported and it's real based on your doctors and in your testimony. So at a hearing level is where you win most of the cases, okay? And the judge is there to assess your credibility. El juez está ahí para asesorar si eres verídico o no en lo que estás diciendo con la severidad, with your severity, okay? So you put all that together and you get a great hearing, in theory. Tú vas y pones todo junto y en teoría tienes un juicio bueno. But your hearing is as good as your judge in many ways. And the judges are all, you can go on when you get your judge, cuando recibas tu juez que tienes asignado, you go on and you type in your judge's name. And you say Social Security judge and you type in the name and you type in the city. Or you could just type in the name and the city of the judge. And it'll pop up and it'll give you a percentage of their win ratio, where they pay cases or where they don't. And you'll have a better idea of how you have to prepare for that judge. Va a tener una buena idea de cómo prepararte para ese juez. Basado en ese juez, si pones el nombre y la ciudad donde estás, o el nombre del juez y pones seguro social, tú puedes mirar a ver cómo ese juez en pagando los beneficios. Y eso te ayuda a prepararte. Okay?
We know she doesn't have MS. She remembers what she says, so she could say it again.
In a different language.
In a different language, too.
Okay, you talked about poverty level, and that for me was very, I mean, because I'm poverty level, I get my food stamps, and so I'm very disappointed in me because I couldn't pass a bar exam, and so I'm really considered poverty level. So that doesn't mean too much for me because, I mean, I get the regular disability check, but then I'm wondering, because I did work for a long time as an assistant or as an intern, and I never got any money out of that one. Entonces lo que yo quería decir era que decirte que a mí me dan las estampillas de comida y de ahí Mi nivel nivel pobre mío es muy alto. Pero para mí no es, para mí eso no me hace me hace mucha cosa. Porque yo trabajaba cuando estaba estudiando y estaba allá en verano en Pensilvania. Pero nada, no puedo hacer nada.
Esos dineros que califican para la pobreza está hecho por el Congreso de los Estados Unidos y está hecho anualmente. Cada enero dan las condiciones y los números que tienen y es basado en cuánta gente en la casa. Y eso no discrimina. So those numbers that you're given with the poverty level to qualify for SSI benefits are set by Congress every year in January, and those numbers don't discriminate. Those numbers are what they are. They're very, very hard to move them. When you've paid money into the system, you fall into another type of program, which is a Title II. So if we go back, can I go forward? No, can I? If we went all the way back, which I don't, thanks, Bill. It'll give you the beginning of the slideshow. Thank you, Bill. These are the two main programs. There are other programs. Esos son los programas balanceados, los programas en general. Hay otros programas también bajo el Seguro Social. Pero en general, DIB, el título 2, tiene que ver con la gente que ha pagado al sistema y todavía está durante el periodo de tiempo que puede solicitar. So DIB is for people that have paid into the system and are still qualified because their benefits have not expired. They still qualify within a certain time period. They have to show they're disabled. SSI Title 16 is for people that have not paid into the system or have paid but made very little money. So then they can qualify for both programs because the monies are still so low that SSI, Supplemental Security Income, comes in to help. Okay? Some people have not paid anything in and they're full SSI. Some people have great earnings records and are full DIP. And some people are a combination. And they're called SSDC, but just know that they're a combination of programs. The poverty level and those numbers go up every year, but they do not discriminate. They are what they are. You can't do anything about that.
Once approved and on disability, if you choose to do part-time work, I've been told kind of basically keep it under $1,000 a month. If your disability is only $600 though, and you qualify for SSI because you still have money in the bank, it doesn't seem to matter whether you make $1,500 a month on disability or $600. You're still capped at what you're able to make, even if it is only 20 hours a week, which is not.
Do you want to say that in Spanish?
No. I wish I could.
So, do you want to translate it? Okay, la pregunta es, I'm just going to translate it for the audience, que si uno está trabajando y ha recibido beneficios del Seguro Social que son $600 mensuales y quiere trabajar part-time, hace una diferencia, no califican para SSI porque tienen demasiados ingresos, pueden todavía trabajar, no tiene sentido el programa y cómo pueden trabajar y cuánto pueden trabajar. So the program doesn't make a lot of sense. But it is the program that you have, and it does designate and delineate what you're entitled to. So you don't want to mess up the ability to receive the benefits you're currently having. El programa no tiene mucho sentido, pero no quieres cambiar lo que el programa es porque puede radicalmente, can radically change your life, radicalmente cambiar tu vida basado en las contestaciones y cuánto estás trabajando. So, the numbers of what you can work and what you can earn are posted online, and I should know them, but I'm not good with numbers and I always forget. But my answer is always the same. Keep the income that you make very low. Keep it very part-time. Because every time you pay Social Security taxes, you are throwing a red flag up there. And when you open that red flag, you open all the trapdoors. And that starts asking, are you able to work more hours? Are you keeping your hours artificially low? Are you double dipping? Has your condition improved? So, I'm going to say it in Spanish. La condición de cuánto puedes trabajar y el dinero que puedes recibir está documentado en la computadora, en el Google. Pero yo se supone que lo sepa, pero no lo sé. Y me puedes mandar un email. I can get you the answer if you want that. Pero mi contestación siempre es la misma. Trabaja muy poco, manténlo bien part-time. La manera que tú apenas empiezas a trabajar, apenas empieces a pagar seguro social, eso va a ser un red flag. Hello, todo el mundo se va a levantar y va a gritar, estás trabajando mínimo, puedes trabajar más, estás quitando las horas menos para poder hacer un poquito de esto, un poquito de lo otro, es posible que puedes recibir más. Entonces, has trabajado muy duro para tener estos beneficios. You've worked very hard to get on the benefits, and they're going to look at them. And I just can't. They're going to look at your benefits, and they're going to say, you know what? Maybe we need to review you. So you're opening a lot of trapdoors.
I have a question. I get Title II right now, and when I filed, I was married, but now I'm divorced, and obviously my income has gone down. I was wondering if I was to do, because I know you said that you can get both the SSI and the Title II. Would I have to do another thingy, or do I just tell them, oh, hello? Okay. Do I just let them know that circumstances have changed and see if I qualify?
Yeah, so la pregunta fue que ella está recibiendo beneficios del Seguro Social bajo el título 2, pero se divorció y ahora está recibiendo menos ingresos, y si ella puede solicitar para el otro título o si tiene que comenzar otra vez. So my question is, and you may want to answer this later or now, it's, your prerogative, but it depends on how much you're receiving and whether or not you would qualify for SSI. So SSI alone is about $770 a month, but then it has to do with how many people are in your home, and they calculate it that way. So we can go through. You have how many? One? Okay. So I think I can look and get your email and send you or call you. But I can look and see, and then that's very easy. Dependiendo, yo voy a hablar con ella separado, cuánto dinero recibes, but if that's the case, si ese es el caso, you can just go to Social Security, say circumstances have changed, show your divorce papers, and it should qualify you right away. You should not need to file again. No debes de solicitar otra vez. Okay?
I've got two questions. In general, do you think, because it's always in the press about the government gives out so much money in benefits and frivolous claims, somebody has post-traumatic stress from their football coach hollering at them, and you see that they receive benefits. Do you think that they're tightening up on that money now, or which way is it trending? Is it going to be super hard to get disability benefits? And the time frame on that? I know you said something about an election year.
Was that part one of your question?
Yes.
Or was that the whole question?
No, that was one.
Okay. Do you want me to start with that one, or do you want to give me both?
Sure.
Okay. So son dos partes la pregunta del señor. La primera es que si yo creo que, no estoy segura, pero yo creo que si han habido muchas cosas en las noticias de la gente que están enseñando o diciendo que están incapacitados por post-traumatic stress porque se dieron en la cabeza jugando fútbol, y mucha gente está revisando los casos, que si ese es el caso o no, y que si tiene que ver por elección, que si lo van a hacer más difícil hacia el año. So, my answer is, it's obviously my personal opinion because we don't know. En mi opinión personal, porque no se sabe. I think that when you look at, they also say the government is running out of money. También dice que el gobierno no tiene dinero. That Social Security won't be a program, que Seguro Social no va a haber un programa. So because of that, por eso they're looking very closely at the claims. Están mirando mucho a los reclamantes. And they're saying that they're denying more and more y están denegando más y más. So I hope I'm answering you the question. They're looking at the cases a lot closer. Están mirando los casos mucho más cerca. They are trying to objectify subjective complaints. Están tratando de poner en objetivamente algo que es muy subjetivo. Something like a post-traumatic stress disorder is very, very real. And I do VA law. So I see a lot of things that I may never feel in my life, but I know that the person, whether or not I want to be them, they feel it. So it's very subjective. Son cosas muy objetivas. Yo hago incapacidad de veterano y yo veo el post-traumatic stress disorder mucho. Yo quizás jamás lo sienta, pero lo veo y sé que lo está sintiendo la persona. So they are denying more cases because they're running out of money. Están denegando más casos porque se está acabando el dinero. The system will not run out. They will not get rid of the system. No van a poder cerrar el sistema del Seguro Social. I don't think, in my opinion. But a lot of what's being reported, muchas de las cosas que están reportando en las noticias, in the news, in 60 Minutes, in a lot of programs, require and get the media upset, and the politicians start, and it just creates a backlog. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Specifically, though, how long should you be out of work before you make the initial file?
Okay. That's the golden rule. That's the question. ¿Cuánto tiempo debe de estar sin trabajo para solicitar para incapacidad? So the law says you have to be out of work 12 months or more to qualify for Social Security disability. Okay? Some government workers at the Social Security office will say, don't come and apply until you've been out of work for 12 months. That is not true. If you are not currently working and you believe that your condition will prevent you from working for 12 months or more, you're entitled to file for benefits. Okay? So, es la pregunta de oro porque ¿cuánto tiempo puedes estar sin trabajar? Tienes que esperar un año antes de radicar una solicitud para el Seguro Social. Depende de la persona que te vea en Seguro Social. It depends on the particular person at Social Security. Porque lo que te van a decir algunos es, espera 12 meses antes de radicar una solicitud. Y eso no es verdad. Tienes que estar sin trabajar. You have to be without work for 12 months before you win your case, antes de ganar el caso. But you will be, by definition, if you go through this process and you go up to the judge, you're looking to go for 12, 18 months before you get in front of a judge. Vas a esperar 12 o 18 meses. So if during the process you're not working, you qualify under the definition. Yeah? You're welcome.
Abogada González, voy a hablar por mi esposa en este caso porque yo estoy conviviendo con ella toda esta situación. Y una de las cosas es cómo es posible que el sistema escolar pensiona a mi esposa después de 20 años de servicio o un poco más. Entonces Social Security se lo ha negado 2 veces y no solamente eso, ella no tiene una condición, ella no solamente tiene varias condiciones. Ella tiene epilepsia, distintos
How is it
tipos
possible
de
for the
condiciones.
government to pension my wife, and I'm speaking for her, and say that she's disabled under the school board because she was teaching and not able to receive Social Security benefits, which she has more than one condition. She doesn't just have MS, she has multiple conditions, including epilepsy. So every system of disability, cada sistema de disability, short-term disability, long-term disability, veterans disability, school board disability, federal government disability, all have their own rules. Cada sistema de disability tiene sus propias reglas, sus propias maneras que lo que tienen que calificar. So I'll have people say to me, I'm 80% disabled or whatever percent through workers' comp, but Social Security does not have to follow it. Okay? They don't have to follow it. The medical records from the doctors, los récords médicos del doctor son importantísimo. Your file from the school board, very important. The medical records from your doctor is very important. But the rating that they did, not so much. Lo que ellos dijeron que tú tienes, porcentaje o full, eso no tiene que ver porque cada departamento mira disability totalmente diferente. ¿Ya?
Okay, we only have time for 2 more questions. Who are they going to be? Full 360.
Fortunately, I don't need to file for disability at this time. And I want to thank you for being here because it's very informative. But my curiosity is that if people are supposed to be out of work, or you just described what was going on for 12 months, how are you able to get compensated? Because I think the average individual out of work for 12 months probably doesn't have a whole lot left over. That was the only question I have.
Okay, thank you. That's a really good question because I get asked that all the time, but for you it wouldn't have been asked, so thank you. La pregunta es que las personas que están aplicando para incapacidad reciben beneficios para 12 meses o 18 meses. Como un abogado como yo recibe beneficios, mi dinero, mis honorarios, en un tipo así. Pero es una pregunta muy importante que nadie pregunta. People don't ask this question and they shy away from attorneys because they're afraid. La gente no viene a abogados muchas veces porque tiene miedo. Oh, attorney, how much am I going to pay? I don't have money for that. No tengo dinero para eso. So it does, the monies that we get paid, los dineros y los honorarios que se recibe como abogado vienen de tu retroactivo, comes from your retroactivity, okay? So in fact, en esencia, viene de ustedes. It comes from you based on your retroactive. So let's say that you've been out of work for 24 months or 18 months. We get 25% of what you receive. Nosotros recibimos 25% de lo que recibes tú. Si estás incapacitado y sin trabajo 12 meses, 24 meses, lo que sea. 25% is capped at $6,000. And the government, when you win the case, will turn around and say, and send an award letter, it's very official, and it says to you, you are entitled to receive, because I'm not good in math, we've established that, $40,000, right? And your attorney would have received 10, which is 25%, but they're capped at 6. So your attorney will be receiving 6. We've separated the money. We're reimbursing you the difference. Okay? That's kind of how it works. So yo no soy buena en matemáticas, so voy a explicarlo con unos porcentajes muy altos, pero, por ejemplo, si tú estás recibiendo retroactivo de $40,000, from the date you last worked, if it's Title II. If it's Title 16, it's from the date of application. So the gentleman was asking, when does your retroactive start? And it depends on the program. So if it's Title 16, it starts at the date of application. If it's Title II, based on the date that you last worked. If you last worked because of a condition. Okay?
Our last question is here.
Yo quisiera saber, porque yo vendo una cosa que se llama Mary Kay, que es para la cara, cosméticos, cremas labiales y cosas para los ojos, pestañinas, pero yo no vendo mucho de eso. Y yo quiero saber si hay problemas, si yo por si acaso, si vendo más de lo que fuera, si eso me afecta mucho.
So the question was, you want to say it in English? Okay, she sells Mary Kay, and things for the face and for the eyes and a little makeup. And she sold some over. The lady sold some over the winter, Christmas time, right? No. Oh, whether or not selling Mary Kay would affect you? Yeah, it's work. It's work. It's work. So it does. Once you start working, the flag goes up, and the question is, how much can you work? And are you really keeping your hours down and the income down so that you can double dip? Or is this actually the most you can do? So if you can show by medical doctors that you try to work, and this is the most you can do, maybe a few hours a week, that's not substantial gainful work activity. And you would be okay if your doctors can support that. Okay? Tu trabajo tiene que ver mucho con cuánto puedes trabajar, cuánto puedes ejercer. Si estás trabajando y vendiendo un poquito aquí, un poquito acá, van a preguntar, van a investigar a ver cuánto puedes trabajar. Estás quitando el dinero, tienes el dinero bajito a propósito, puedes trabajar más y va a solucionar con algún tipo de investigación. Okay?
Gracias.
De nada. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you to Lisa. Very good. Everybody understand everything? That's good. It's a good thing we only spoke 2 languages. All right, so listen, if you don't remember what has been said tonight, then again, we will be publishing this hopefully within a week. And again, I want to thank Teva Neuroscience for giving us the funds to do tonight's program, which were quite needed, so that way we could bring this kind of program to you. And so I hope that you all had a good learning experience, and we do hope to see you again the next time we come into Tampa. All right, thank you.